When I watched Top Gun for the very first time, all I wanted was to be a fighter pilot. So I'm not surprised that Ashlee got hooked on the idea of surfing from watching Stoked, even if it's a cartoon. In today's episode, we tell Ashlee's story. From discovering Stoked, to working through her anxieties, to finally having a surf break right outside her front door. Welcome to the Wipeout Weekly, the daily podcast for beginners, wannabe surfers, and seasoned Wipeout enthusiasts. No hype, no filler, just the highs, lows, and honest truth about learning to surf and finding your place in surf culture. I'm your host, Suze Wilson. Let's go out. This is Ashlee's story. Hi, I'm Ash, and I'm 23, based on the Gold Coast, Australia. I live in beautiful Palm Beach, and I feel so lucky to have the beach as my front yard. I first learned to surf just down the road at Currumbin Alley. Back then, I lived on the other side of the GC, but in a full circle moment, this is now my local break, and where I also learned my coaching credentials. My surf journey has been a long one. I grew up watching the ABC3 show Stoked, and I got hooked on the idea of surfing. My family is from Melbourne and weren't into the beach at all. But I still had that spark. I begged my parents for a lesson when I was older, and I was immediately hooked. I started going out with a friend from school and her die-hard surfer dad. They taught me the basics, but mostly just took me to snapper in any and all conditions, where I was often left to figure things out on my own. With just one formal lesson under my belt, most of my early surfing was pure trial and error and intuition. Once I could drive, everything changed. I'd drive 40 minutes down to the southern Gold Coast points to surf the best waves the East Coast had to offer. Eventually, things started clicking. Fast forward to now, and my partner and I were lucky enough to move beachfront. We surf nearly every day. Everything from shortboards to longboards, point breaks to beaches. I often surf solo because I love using the time to unwind and practice mindfulness. In 2002, I joined Groove Girls, an all-women surf community. I now host their group surfs, and the energy at these events is unmatched. For me, the biggest challenge has always been mindset. I've always felt fear. I knew I had to keep challenging myself, but my anxiety would often stop me from paddling out or paddling into waves. I knew I could surf them, but I was so unsure about everything else. Eventually, I decided that if I wanted to keep progressing, I had to let go of fear. I started practicing mindfulness in the water to drown out worries and put myself back in control. Over time, that fear transformed into passion, to challenge myself more, to push further, to paddle into bigger, gnarlier waves. This mindset shift was crucial when I went to the Mentawais for the first time. I pushed myself every day into steeper, hollower waves over sharp reef. One day, I got caught on the inside of a pretty big set. I duck dived under the first wave thinking I had the momentum to make it through the rest. I was wrong. Each wave pushed me further over the reef until I had waves breaking on me in shin-deep water. My back and feet were all cut up from walking across the reef back to the channel. I was shaking and scared, but still determined. I gathered myself and paddled back out. I'm a big believer in board diversity and how mixing styles can really complement your overall development. I started on shortboards, but quickly fell in love with longboarding, which I do the most now. For the last 2 years, I've made it my mission to learn the art of hanging 10. And now that I've nailed it, I'm addicted. I have 3 logs ranging from 9.2 to 9.6 to show for it. Because I have a beach break out the front, I still surf shortboards and enjoy it. I think we all go through phases. They're all equally important. I recently got a 6'10" single fin. That's my next challenge. Currumbin Alley will always be my favorite and holds a special place in my heart. Being able to noseride down the perfect point with a crew of longboarders is something I hope I'll be doing for the rest of my life. That said, I'd love to travel more. West Coast, Turkey, and the Maldives are on the list. Surfing has been the best thing I've ever done. I've met amazing people, grown as a person, and created a lifestyle I'm obsessed with. It grounds me and teaches me constantly. I'll do it until I physically cannot anymore. I love coaching and giving back, especially to Groms. Being able to share the passion and watch it grow in others is incredibly rewarding. Right now, I host Groove Girls Group Surfs on the Gold Coast. It's an amazing place for others to connect, share, and surf. We also run surf retreats and snowboarding trips in Japan, Canada, New Zealand, and right here in Oz. And that's all for today. Check out the Wipeout Weekly for our free newsletter, more stories, and ways to connect with us. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow for more of the Wipeout Weekly.